If you walk into a dealership today and ask for the most reliable, financially responsible compact sport utility vehicle on the market, the salesperson is going to hand you the keys to a Toyota RAV4. It is the undisputed king of the American road, moving so much metal that it regularly outsells legendary full-size pickup trucks. People buy this vehicle completely blindfolded, simply because it wears a Toyota badge on the grille, assuming it will outlive religion and never ask for a single expensive repair. But behind the massive sales figures, the pristine reputation, and the glowing dealer brochures, there is an entirely different reality. There are hidden $5,000 repair bills, safety recalls that completely black out your dashboard, and a driving experience that will quickly remind you that you bought an appliance, not a luxury vehicle. The cooler. You are probably looking at the 2025 model year because you want peace of mind. But if you live in a climate where it snows and the roads are salted, you need to know about a massive, stress-inducing nightmare that owners call Cablegate. On the hybrid models, the high-voltage cable that runs under the vehicle to power the rear electric motor relies on a braided metal shield and a plastic housing. Because of a severe design flaw, salty winter moisture easily penetrates that housing. The resulting corrosion completely eats the harness, eventually throwing a hybrid system malfunction code that leaves your vehicle dead in the water. If you are outside of the extended warranty window, dealerships are handing owners repair estimates exceeding $5,000. Toyota tried to fix this on the 2025 models by installing a rubber sleeve, but independent mechanics and owners are incredibly skeptical that this is a permanent solution. People are literally crawling under their brand new $35,000 crossovers, with cans of fluid film and sheep wool wax, desperately spraying the undercarriage to protect their investment from rotting from the inside out. The powertrain you choose dictates exactly how much regret you will feel pulling out of the dealership lot. The standard gas model features a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine producing 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, paired with a traditional 8-speed automatic transmission. Mechanically, it is a brilliant piece of engineering that uses both direct and port fuel injection, which washes the intake valves with fuel and prevents the carbon buildup that famously destroys engines from other brands. But from the driver's seat, it is a completely unrefined, deeply unpleasant experience. When you press the accelerator to merge onto the highway, the engine does not hum. It screams and drones like an angry farming implement. The transmission frequently stumbles when trying to find the right gear on a hill, leaving you with loud noise and very little forward momentum. This is exactly why you should ignore the gas model entirely and buy the hybrid. The hybrid powertrain combines that same engine with electric motors to produce 219 combined horsepower, completely transforming the vehicle. It uses an electronic continuously variable transmission based on a heavy-duty planetary gear set, completely avoiding the fragile rubber belts found in cheaper competitor vehicles. The electric motors provide instant, silent torque off the line, filling in the power gaps and making city driving remarkably smooth. It is so vastly superior that Toyota has made a ruthless corporate decision. The gas-only engine is being completely executed. When the all-new 2026 6th-generation model arrives this winter, the traditional gas engine will be dead, and the entire lineup will be 100% electrified. Buying a 2025 gas model means buying a noisy, obsolete dead end. But do not assume the hybrid is immune to reality checks, especially when it comes to fuel efficiency. Toyota aggressively advertises up to 41 miles per gallon in the city and 38 miles per gallon on the highway. However, real-world owners will quickly tell you that achieving those numbers requires you to drive like you are transporting a fragile wedding cake. If you live in a colder climate, the battery efficiency plummets the second winter arrives, dropping your actual fuel economy closer to 33 miles per gallon. If you opt for the Woodland Edition trim, which comes with aggressive all-terrain tires and a heavy roof rack, the drag and rolling resistance will instantly chop your highway efficiency down to 35 miles per gallon or less. Furthermore, the dashboard distance to empty calculation is notoriously deceptive. hiding a massive fuel reserve that makes you think you are running on fumes when you still have several gallons left in the 14.5-gallon tank. Step inside the cabin, and the practical illusions continue to shatter. The interior is highly utilitarian, built with durable, chunky, rubberized knobs that feel great, but the daily ergonomics are baffling. Toyota placed the button for the heated steering wheel so low and far to the left on the dashboard that you practically have to open your door and rest your chin on the pavement to find it. When you finally manage to turn it on, you will quickly realize it only heats the sides of the wheel, leaving the top and bottom freezing cold. The center console cup holders are positioned too close together, meaning two large travel coffee mugs will violently fight for space. The front passenger seat lacks basic height adjustment on most trims, leaving your co-pilot feeling like they are sitting in a basement. If you want to load large furniture into the back, you will discover that the rear seats do not fold completely flat, leaving a frustrating uphill ramp in the middle of your 69.8 cubic feet of cargo space. And if you happen to tap the horn at a passing car, be prepared to feel deeply embarrassed, because it sounds exactly like a cheap plastic toy. The biggest acoustic failure of this vehicle is the sound insulation, which is practically a rumor. At highway speeds, the wind noise is absolutely horrific. If there is even a mild breeze outside, the turbulence inside the cabin sounds like you are driving straight through a Category 4 hurricane. You will find yourself constantly checking the windows to see if one was left cracked open, only to realize that Toyota simply skipped the sound-deadening materials to save weight and improve fuel economy. Even worse, the hood sheet metal is so incredibly thin that it visibly flutters and bounces when you hit 70 miles per hour, making you wonder if the latch is going to give way. Then there is the technology, which hides a massive, inconvenient safety defect. The 2025 models feature an 8-inch or 10.5-inch central touchscreen and a beautiful 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster on the higher trims. But there is an active safety recall right now, known as Recall 25V595, because Toyota software engineers made a catastrophic error. The programming continuously writes redundant data to the flash memory inside the digital instrument cluster. Over time, this endless loop physically degrades the memory chip until it completely fries. You will press the push button start, and your dashboard will be completely black. No speedometer, no fuel gauge, no tire pressure warnings, just total darkness. Toyota is currently scrambling to update the software before the screens die. But if the cluster is already ruined, it requires a complete hardware replacement. If you happen to buy a used model out of warranty down the road and experience this failure, you are staring at a repair bill easily exceeding $1,000. Even when the screens work, the native infotainment interface is designed as a desperate trap to sell you subscription services. Do you want cloud-based navigation with live traffic updates? You have to pay a monthly fee. Do you want the intelligent voice assistant? You have to pay. Do you want to use the remote engine start feature from your smartphone app? You guessed it. Another subscription fee. Fortunately, wireless smartphone connectivity is standard, allowing you to bypass the factory interface entirely. But owners frequently report that the wireless connection randomly drops out during drives, leaving you navigating completely blind until the system decides to reboot. For buyers looking to bypass the standard hybrid, there is the top-tier plug-in hybrid model. It packs a staggering 302 net combined horsepower and provides an estimated 42 miles of pure electric driving range. You can blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds, making it hilariously fast in a straight line. But do not mistake straight-line speed for actual performance. It is a heavy crossover with soft suspension tuning, meaning it exhibits massive body roll in the corners. The regenerative brake pedal feels like you are stepping on a wet loaf of bread, making hard stops completely uninspiring. You gain incredible straight-line acceleration, but you absolutely sacrifice any semblance of engaging driving dynamics. To keep any of these powertrains alive, you must immediately ignore the dealership's service advisors. Toyota manuals claim you can drive 10,000 miles between oil changes. Master mechanics who rebuild these exact engines will look you dead in the eye. and tell you that interval is a complete marketing lie, designed to artificially lower the advertised cost of ownership. If you want your engine to cross the 150,000-mile mark without burning oil, you need to drain that ultra-thin zero-weight 16 synthetic oil every 5,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. Oil is incredibly cheap. Engine blocks are not. Additionally, hybrid owners need to realize that the electrical inverter has its own dedicated cooling system, completely separate from the engine coolant. If you neglect this system, the coolant turns to sludge, the inverter overheats, and you will be writing a check for nearly $2,000. You must treat the hybrid powertrain with strict, specialized care. When you sit down in the finance office, prepare for the final trap. The finance manager will inevitably try to sell you an extended bumper-to-bumper warranty, quoting an insane figure approaching $4,000. This is a massive profit center for the dealer. You should refuse it immediately. Step outside and purchase the exact same factory-backed extended warranty online from a high-volume out-of-state dealer for a fraction of the cost. Why do millions of people tolerate the hurricane wind noise, the subscription traps, the cable corrosion anxiety, and the unrefined gas engine? The answer lies strictly in the brutal, unforgiving math of automotive depreciation. A new vehicle is usually a terrible financial decision, but this crossover defies market logic. A 5-year-old model retains a staggering 72% of its original value. If you buy an XLE Premium trim today for around $35,650, you can drive it for half a decade and still sell it for over $25,000. In a market where luxury European sport utility vehicles lose half their value the moment their tires touch public pavement, this vehicle is essentially a high-yield savings account with windshield wipers. The 2025 model represents the absolute zenith of the 5th-generation architecture. Yes, the all-new 2026 redesign arrives this winter with a sharper hammerhead grille, 52 miles of electric range for the plug-in, and a brand-new sport-tuned trim level sitting on 20-inch wheels. But buying the first year of a brand new generation guarantees you will be an unpaid beta tester for manufacturing defects and software glitches. Buying the 2025 model means buying a platform where every major mechanical fault has already been discovered and documented. This crossover is not a luxury car, nor is it an enthusiast's dream. It is a highly practical, heavily flawed, but ultimately bulletproof financial instrument designed to get you to work every single day without bankrupting your future. You are buying an asset, not an emotional experience. So, knowing about the wind noise, the cable risks, and the massive redesign right around the corner, where do you stand? Are you rushing out to secure the proven 2025 hybrid before it disappears? Or are you willing to risk first-year reliability issues to get the fresh technology of the 2026 model? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know exactly how you think this compares to its main rival from Honda, and hit subscribe for more brutally honest automotive truth.